Welcome back, friends, to another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lidz87 here, and in today's video, guys, I am going to be talking about my own personal pull plans up until the Crystal level 90 era. Now, there have been viewers that have been asking me if I can do another pull plan video, so this will be my personal pull plan. If you guys are influenced by my own decisions, awesome. If you're not, hey, we all have our own opinions, right, friends? So I'm just gonna throw this out there that they're your resources, your tickets, your gems, right? So obviously go for characters that are your favorites, because if you're not going for your favorite characters, you're not really enjoying the game. Especially if you like a character's mechanic, just like them, but let's say they're not meta, so to say, just go for them. Why not, right? Especially if you have the resources to do so. All right, friends. So what I'm just gonna be going through this list. Units that I want to go, possibly units that I would love to burst plus 3 out of 3 if I have the resources to do so. If I'm going to use tickets, gems, ideally, I'll try to cover some of these characters' kits if possible. Now, I like to say in Opera Omnia is that I have a general idea of how a lot of these characters work. There's a shitload of characters in this game. Okay, what, 150 plus characters? I can't remember all of their single little fine details when it comes to their buffs, right? I don't know, freaking who's a unit, right? Shadow, the sun's like at a 30-degree angle, so it's going to increase his brave damage by like 200%. No, I don't remember those fine details, right? So for that reason, we're gonna have the compendium here on the side ready to go if I need to look up specific stats of some of these characters. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video, friends, just throwing that out there. And another thing to throw out there is that I will touch upon these seasonal banners, but it was confirmed, these seasonal banners you guys see right here, that Joshua said that these seasonal banners will have the capabilities to be moved around. We've already been seeing it. They've been experimenting with these already. Look what they did with Sarah, right? With her LD, what was her LD boards. And she got her rework. Look at what they did with Galuf. They did push Galuf back by an event. They did push back Sutzer, right? And there was no burst on that banner. And they did move up AFMA by about like 2 weeks. So those of you that were planning to chase for Zidane's burst on that banner, that might have changed for you. All right, friends. So, but I will touch upon some of these characters just to maybe possibly plan, but keep in mind that they could get moved around. All right, friends. Did I forget anything in terms of introductions? No, I think we're good to go. I'm going to leave this video unedited, uncut, so you guys can, I guess, just see my thinking process about some of these characters. All right, and it's going to be a longer video, so it'll be a pain in the ass to go back and edit this. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, we are going to be getting Divine Panda. So with that, we're going to be getting our very first 2 burst plusable or realizable burst weapons, Zidane and Y'shtola. Now, when it comes to this banner, I already have Y'shtola. I did plan ahead for that. I did pick up Y'shtola back in the day, right, when her burst weapon debuted. It will suck if I pick up her burst for free, because we are going to get free multi-draws on this banner. So we'll see what happens. It happened on the JP side of the game. I was pissed about that one. But she will be my first burst plus 3 out of 3 character. Renoa, she's cool. I remember she got boards. I don't remember how much she did. It wasn't that memorable for me. Just throwing that out there. When it comes to Zidane, I would love to pick up his LD and burst weapon. I'll probably chase for his burst weapon on the Sid Reigns banner, which I have a feeling a lot of players are going to plan around. So on this banner, on the debut banner, I am planning on, at the moment, I'm planning on using a bunch of tickets to hopefully pick up his LD, depending on how the initial free multi-draw goes for this banner. He has the capabilities to delete the enemy's turn, right? With his his LD buff, which is beautiful. Of course, his hard counter would be enemies that their turns can't be deleted, or if you act within a certain amount of turns, they're going to jump up and probably punish you, which some of these bosses will do. So, but once that stops happening, he's still usable. He's a great unit. Burst weapon. Let's see. He can massively brave an HP heal. Ooh, why'd I go back? Why'd you go back, man? You can massively brave and HP heal your party members based on, if I remember correctly, based off of the damage he deals. Where is it? Come on, let's go. There it is. Right? Recovers party HP 100%, converts extra to brave. And he does have somewhat of auras by increasing your party's brave damage, which is nice. That's very useful. So Not a bad unit to pick up. Not a bad character if you already have some supports already to burst plus 3 out of 3. I did on the JP side of the game. I loved him. He was great. I didn't go for Ishtola. I should have, but the plans aren't changing on the global side of the game. Beatrix is nice. Beatrix gets his boards, defense ignoring, more off-turn damage, crystal level 90, so very useful. Both of these do come back later down the line, so if you're a little bit of a newer player and you missed out on them, they do come back. A lot of these characters do. Guys, lost chapter. He doesn't get shit here. He does not get shit. I remember that from JP. Okay, I was pissed because I liked the guy. I got him on freaking JP. I maxed him out. He did not get. He was useful. All right, he was useful during his Lufenia Plus. Proper team compositions, of course. Sync is the one that gets some love. She has the capabilities. She kind of reminds me of Cypher in terms with her LD. She gets this mechanic where if an enemy is inflicted with her debuff, she can delay the enemies by 2 turns. She will increase the damage she deals against them. So not bad overall. I personally am not gonna go for her. She's never been a favorite of mine. So just throwing that out there. So you guys do you, right? Sid Reigns is a beast. This is where I'm gonna try to chase the Don's burst weapon on if possible. Gems, because Sid Reigns, he's a great character. He is the next step up when it comes to team chase compositions. He has the capabilities to turn manipulate. He can delay, massive brave battery. He throws in an additional attack if he initiates a chase sequence. Very useful character. I highly recommend you guys go for him. Lidz, but there's going to be bosses that are immune to chase. Yes, we have been seeing that argument since the start of Opera Omnia, right? But when chase comps work, they frickin' work. There's a reason why chase comps are strong. It's for that reason. So definitely, me personally, I am going to be chasing after Sid Reigns. Aphmau, she got moved up, right? We have her now. I think I am going to go back. I think I do want to pick up her LD. Maybe with gems, because it's goodbye. Standard Lufenia, right? We're going into a new era. And I'm not going to lie, like, if there are things that we can do with, like, core and freaking Aphmau, turn manipulation, shenanigans, I don't want to miss out on that. So I think I want to go for Aphmau. And just throwing this out there, if you are still undecided about Aphmau and Sid Reigns, they go beautifully together. They go very beautifully together. Just throwing that out there. Sorry, Tifa. I don't know what's going to happen with you anymore. Now, Tifa, well, I mean, Tifa does come back later down the line, so there's that. So, Transcendence 5. Bart's repeating burst weapon, LD weapon, burst plusable, 3 out of 3. He will be my second burst plus 3 out of 3 unit. Very useful character. Aura's battery, win enchant towards the party with his burst effect, and burst plus 2 out of 3. Having that as burst ability will be very useful. He has the capabilities to lower the enemy's wind resistance, which is going to be very handy without inflicting a debuff on the enemies. So very useful on the team compositions. Very useful as a friend support. Get him to his 3 stacks of his burst effect, right? Because you get all those benefits. Massive brave battery, which is very useful. So very handy support type unit to have. No HP healing, so be sure to cover that role in a different kind of unit. So throwing that out there. What do we have? Ace. Ace will get some auras built into his kit that increases your party's damage. LD, rework, burst weapon. I would say that you don't necessarily have to burst plus 3 out of 3 Ace. He is very useful with just his burst plus and his LD. A lot of his damage will be coming from his LD. He's going to inflict a debuff. Once that expires, there is follow-up damage pretty much after any form of act on the field. That debuff will tick down, and then there will be just off-turn damage on that enemy. So he can drastically, depending on your team compositions, increase your damage output, possibly helping you out with a lot of these shorter Lufenia pluses. So me personally, I would love to pick up Aces, LD, and Burst if possible. I already have Bart's ready to go. I planned for that when it debuted. So tickets here, I do have Kamari. I think he gets LD boards. I don't remember. I was never a fan of Kamari, but I have him on global, so I might as well just use him, right? I did build him up, so there's that. But tickets here, possibly, and gems on the Quistis banner. For Prompto, I was never a fan. I was never... Oh, that's a dirty lie. I was cool with him when he first debuted. Now I just could really care less about him. He's alright. He goes Call of Duty with his LD, brings on a machine gun, some kind of bazooka-looking thingamabob. He can increase his own damage output whenever he's attacking a broken target or attacks a broken target. When he's at 2 stacks of his brand new buff and ally axe, he'll attack with them. He's cool. He's a nice support type attacker. But it's freaking RNA again, like the 4th time. So, I mean, if you're Final Fantasy 15 fan, if you don't have either of these units, then by all means. Zac, I would say, depending on where he ends up being, I would say wait, because he gets his Burst Plus later down the line. I mean, if you want to get Burst tokens for later on, Zac becomes a much better tank. Plain and simple, he's a great tank regardless, so wouldn't be a bad pickup. Now, Quistis, on the other hand here, she will get a mechanic where she can literally delay enemies that are delay immune. Did I say where I'm picking up Zac? I'm going to go for Zac on his burst banner. All right, there we go. Throwing that out there, possibly with gems later down the line. All right, so back to Quistis. So she will delay enemies that are delay immune, which is going to be useful, right? Especially if you don't need to let the enemies act. Very useful. LD she can delay. She has a aura built with her LD that increases your party's damage output. It can go up to 3 stacks, but if the enemy acts, it will be reset. Kind of like Garland, right? If you're familiar with Garland's burst effect, same concept. Enemy acts, her stacks will be reset. But it's not hard to get him up there. Whenever a party member acts, it will increase. So not a bad character, truthfully. Not a bad unit. So if you are going to be chasing after Ace, this might not be a bad banner to pick up his burst weapon along with Quistis. Now we're looking at November now. November, we got Vayne. Vayne is going to be making a comeback rework. LD and Burst. Cloud of Darkness will be the other Burst Plusable character. I don't know if I'm going to Burst Plus some of the... I don't know yet. Oh, that's good. I'm not sure, truthfully. Like, I have love for Cloud of Darkness. I always have had love for her. I did it on the JP side of the game. She was useful here and there, but I would say she's still more useful as a friend support. So if you're hurting on resources, you could definitely depend on friend support units for that reason. But I mean, just having the capabilities to use her burst ability and to just constant off-turn damage would be useful. But it depends on if you have some good attackers or not. It really depends on your team comps, friends, because if you already have a good attacker, but you need to fill those other roles with just ways to increase your damage, then there's that. But Vayne, circling back to Vayne, I'm sorry, I already have Cloud of Darkness, so I won't be chasing on that banner. I don't know if I'll Burst Plus her 3 out of 3. I'm not sure yet. So this month right here is up in the air for me. Vayne, rework, he's great. Whenever his skills are plusable, right? He will have the capabilities. They will be usable for free. When it comes to his burst, hold on, I don't remember his finer details. Now, I remember with his burst effect, he does have ways to increase your party's damage, right? It's not that potent, though, compared to some of these other characters that are like up there in like freaking 50%, 100% with their burst effect active. Vayne's is alright. It's cool. So let's, hold on, let me, again, I don't remember what it, contempt. I know party HP damage up, okay, 10%. That's cute. When it comes to his burst effect, brave damage up, it was 30%. No more HP damage, huh? No more HP damage up, huh? No. But I know that whenever something is broken on the field while his burst effect is active, he will trigger a follow-up attack, which could, again, help your damage output. So if you're looking for damage output, then hey, maybe Vayne is your guy that you want to invest in. I have Iroha. She's great. She doesn't really get anything here, unfortunately. Neither does Strago, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, I'm going to throw this out there right here, right now. I hate this mission dungeon. It is hard. It was very hard for me. It was very hard. Holy shit. We got the, what is those, like, those ghosts, those priest looking, what are they called? Spectre Whites? Spectre Waits? I forget what they're called, but it's, you got the Echo boss, right? The big Papa Ghost, and then you got the add-ons. When the little add-ons are dead, the other one comes out of evade, but after a certain amount of turns, it will skip ahead at certain HP thresholds. I should say, it will skip ahead, but you have to inflict some kind of brave damage with a debuff to increase the special counter. So you have to manage this one quite well. Okay, if you're not prepared, it would be tough. This one I would say, if you're not looking into JP stuff, I would recommend literally type in Kate Sith, Lufenia Plus, just to look at team compositions, just to be prepared for this one, because this one was rough. This one was brutal. I know I was able to do it with Kate Sith, Vayne, and Agrius with some like paralyzing call actions like Shantoto, Ryle, Rama Summon. So, because if the add-ons get brought back, your run is pretty much over, because it's on a very tight turn requirement too. So, all right, back to here. Kate Sith, I'm going to be... Oh, wait, I never said if I'm going to chase for Vayne. I'm not sure yet, honestly. We'll see how Kate Sith goes. I know he's very useful for all of these, but he's cool. I mean, if I get it, that's awesome. I'll use him. Maybe tickets here and then gems here. All right, now back to Kate Sith. I do want his LD. Long story short, he will have the capabilities to increase your party's brave gain when they crit with every single hit in their animation. So a nice way to increase your party's HP damage output by giving them the capability to get more brave, and he will increase their critical hit rate by 100%. He's already a support type character. He can massively brave heal your party, HP heal your party. Not a bad character. So he's a nice pickup, especially if you don't have units like Lidz. Obviously, they don't do the same freaking things. Kate Sith cannot give your party maximum brave damage up, but it's not a bad way to increase your damage output, because this also carries over to his LD call action. So there's that. Oh, talking about LD call action, I did forget to mention this with Sid Reigns. With his LD call action, if you're about to go into burst mode, use his LD call action, and that party member will be launching up enemies. Just saying. Am I right? So, all right. So, Kate Sith, not a bad support type character to pick up. Shulk. I would say if I have Vayne, I don't think I'm gonna go for Shulk. I really don't want to go for Shulk. I think I'm gonna wait for the Lost Chapter, because if that's when Lulu gets her LD, right? Then just saying, because Lulu is my goth waifu. I did pick up Shulk on the JP. She's cool. Lots of free turns. You can spam right through her abilities. That's what she does. But upon using her LD, she will refresh everything in her kit, her EX recast time, all of her abilities. So she is not a bad attacker, but freaking look at all these damn attackers we have, right? Hold on, keep scrolling back. Zidane, Vayne, Cloud of Darkness. What else do we have? The twins, Garland, Jet. So in terms of like attackers, we have them. So if you're a fan of Final Fantasy Dirge of Cerberus, right? Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus, because that's where she was introduced. Where the hell's Nanaki, right? So she's all right. She's cool. But if I were to chase Vayne's burst, it would be on the Kate Sith banner. This one is up in there for me. If anything, maybe tickets, just for the Final Fantasy VII love. But if her Lost Chapter should be coming out soon on the JP side of the game, so if that's when Lulu gets her LD weapon, I'll probably wait. Next set of burst weapons. Did I say I'm going to burst? This one's up in the air. Maybe I'll burst plus Garland. I didn't do that on the JP side of the game. Right, Garland's useful. Can delay, increase your party's damage output, which is always nice. Having that as a burst ability is useful. I don't remember what he gets in terms of his 2 out of 3 with his burst weapon, but that's why we have the compendium. I'm gonna leave, not compendium. I was typing in compendium. I'm gonna leave all these wonderful links down below in this description. I will give you guys 2 prediction calendars, right, along with this compendium. Now, what did your burst effect 2 out of 3 do, fam? What did it do? Brave damage up even further? So it's up to 50% now? That's what it looks like. Yep, so 50%, that's not bad. That is useful. HP damage up is also useful. So not a bad burst plus 3 out of 3 character. All right, so I might consider that. I did Lon and Rain on the JP side of the game. They're still known for their AoE. That's what they do. I think what kind of drags them down though is their EX, right? They haven't received the crystal level 90 yet, so you really don't want to use their EX, but I know that they gain some buffs from using their EX, so you're kind of forced to use it, right? Now, I know that when it comes to them, when it comes to their LD, there has to be 2 enemies out in the field for it to trigger twice. What do they gain with this one? Stack resist down. Hold on, give me a second. I don't remember. I think this one grants Mega. Yep, Mega Mirage. I remember they had auras built into their kit. Was it with this? No, it was with their burst effect. Okay. So with their burst effect, what do we have? Party HP damage up by 30%. Brave damage up by 50%. The only problem with this, though, this is the main issue with them, is that these stacks, it is stackable depending on how many enemies are on the field. How often do we get 3 enemies? How often do we fight 3 enemies? Not very often. So a huge portion of the time, you will not be getting this 50%. Okay? 50% or 30%. That's what kind of sucks. A huge portion of the time, we're fighting 2 bosses, 2 enemies. So at most, or at least, you will be getting 30% brave damage up and HP damage up. All right? So I wish that wasn't the case. But once there are 3 enemies out in the field, they work beautifully. They can dish out a lot of damage towards multiple enemies. All right, so for this part right here, I would love to pick up their LD. I would love to pick up all their freaking LDs in burst. I gotta be honest, depending on the resources. If I have to skip, no, I can't skip because I'm gonna go for Warren. We'll see. Maybe tickets here to try to get their LD and gems on the Orin banner. Garland I already have. I'm set to go. Again, I'm seriously considering him right now. Burst plusing 3 out of 3 him for this month. We will have to wait and see. Who was I looking up? Oh, I was gonna look up Vanille because I seasonal character. She comes back at some point if we get her here. If she gets moved up, I just remember she becomes of course much better with her LD. She has the capabilities. She had auras built into her kit, right? So we're looking at 40% brave damage up and HP damage up. So not bad. Not bad on team composition. Garnet. Now that's a character at this point on JP. I was never like I was on the whole Garnet hype train in the beginning. When she first debuted, when she got her EX, she was great. She's still fine. She's still fine. We got this Pumice Eidolon. She has auras built into her kit. She's gonna increase her party's elemental weakness damage, HP damage. She's cool. There's some kind of like follow-up attack. This thing comes in. It's got like a giant nose, and she's fine. Great support type character. Always has been. I don't know if I'm gonna go for her. Should you guys? That's up to you. Final Fantasy 9 fans, I might as well just throw a ticket, see if I can pick up her LD because she's fully maxed on global. So why not, right? She will be useful. She is useful. I don't have Cryle. I'm seeing her face right now. I still have yet to acquire Cryle on the global side of the game. So, all right. So that's where I'm at with Garnet. Tickets. We'll see what happens. Orin. Oh my gosh, Orin. I cannot tell you how freaking gem worthy this guy is. Like, if there is a unit to pity during this era. All right, hold on. Let me zoom out. Pre-Crystal Level 90 era, it is going to be Orin. The way that I like to... I'm checking out the rest of the month. The way I'm going to describe Orin is that he is like Galuv on crack. Like, holy shit. Like, he will cover for your allies. He will counter. There's Brave Battery. HP healing. I went too far. Go back, Lidz. Go back. Melee resist down. He can drastically increase his own damage output against a enemy with his debuff. I believe his brave damage can go all the way up to 80%. So he is covering for himself. If you have a melee team comp, they will benefit much more from him, right? Full break, melee brave damage up by 30%, brave damage down by 30%. So he's literally lowering the enemy's damage output while increasing the damage output just with this debuff on them. What was it? Was it Sentinel? No, it was Time to Change the Story, right? Where is it? Where is it? Brave damage up 50% when attacking the target afflicted with a debuff. Massively increasing his damage. Okay, so just one of these characters, very useful. I highly, highly recommend you guys pick him up if you guys are in need of some form of counter. Cover tank, we're going to call them, right? Some evader counter unit person. I know he can solo one of the transcendences. I believe it was a left gate. He can definitely solo one of them. So if you're looking for that, right, you're definitely going to get your return of investment with him for damn sure. All right, friends, so that's it for that month. All right, so again, Garland, possible burst plus, 3 out of 3. Now we are in the month of December. Oh, jacked. Pity because of the song. Pity because of the freaking song. Just throwing that out there, okay? So jacked. Rework LD. He is a hardcore attacker. Okay? Throwing that out there. LD, you press it, his eyes glow, right? He has the capabilities whenever he's up. Whenever he breaks something, he will take another free turn, which is nice. What else do you do? Infinite possibilities. Lowers. Okay. So he kind of works like Bond. He kind of works in the form that whenever he attacks a target with his own element, he will lower their elemental resistance to that. So he's going to be hitting weakness damage, further increasing his own damage. When it comes to his burst, we have party brave damage up, which 50%, that's respectable. Okay? If the target is broken, brave damage up 100%. Okay, that's a nice boost in damage for your party. Very viable burst plus 3 out of 3 character if you would like to go after Orin. Again, just from the freaking song alone. Yeah, so this guy is a step up in terms of damage output as a fire type unit. Arden, hold on, when it comes to Jacked, do I want to chase him? I think I will. I never burst plus 3 out of 3 to him on the JP side of the game. I did pick him up. He was useful. He was very useful. I will tell you right now, I hate Divine Shiva. That one was brutal. All right, the Kate said Lufenia Plus and Divine Shiva were very brutal for me on the JP side of the game. They were freaking hard. So there's that. Will I be able to do it on global? Probably not. We'll see what happens. Depending if I burst plus 3 out of 3 jacked, it will be useful. So you know what? Let's try to go for him. Why not? Right? We'll go for his gear. Maybe on the Shadow banner, we'll see, or maybe on debut. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. All right, friends. So that's where I'm at with Jack. Maybe what? Maybe 70-30. All right, we'll leave it at 70-30 for Lidz to chase after. You know what? 100% for the song. Let's just do it. He gets his name. All right, Arden. I feel like they did my boy Arden dirty. Okay, so Arden, he's up. Arden the Undying, Arden the Turn Stealer, Arden. What did you get, man? I just remember what I read his kit when he first debuted on JP with his burst effect. And was it not that great? No. So ideally, during the burst era, you want to look for ways to increase your party's damage output. That would be your primary, I want to say that is your primary requirement when it comes to Lufenia Plus content. Okay? HP damage up. Okay, that's not bad. There's other characters that can do that and probably add it a little bit more. We got call actions that can freaking do this. Just bring Korosame, right? You're good to go. So I really feel like they did my boy Arden. I used to love him back when he first debuted. He was an amazing character, but I just feel like as time went on, he just kind of dropped. So I don't have his burst weapon. I don't have plans to chase him here. He has yet to repeat on the JP side with the crystal level 90. So I'm just going to wait to see what happens with Arden. I'm so sorry, Arden. So if you're an Arden fan, I mean, if you have your 2 supports or your other units that can support him and drastically increase his damage output, hey, by all means, you'll do great. He'll do fine on your team comp, right? But as a unit to help out with your party in terms of damage output, no. Just go for Jack. Hands down, go for Jack. Kadaj, Maria. Now, Maria, Kadaj comes back. He doesn't get shit on his banner. You're going to see, you've been seeing that trend You're going to see that trend going forward with a lot of these lost chapters, that they don't get love, right? Until later down the line. He just got his crystal level 90. He's a beast. So if you want to wait for Gadaj, that's fine. Maria, she does come back later down the line also. From what I remember, with her LD buff, it like drastically reduces the enemy's brave, right? She inflicts a debuff. What is before enemy turns? Reduces enemy's brave to 0. Okay, so I was right. Increases party's brave. Heals party. Okay? So not bad. There's a, what was it? Follow-up damage. So I would say she is a useful character if she's a useful character, right? She has HP healing built into her kit, which is nice. Brave battery. Just from this alone, from her debuff, the paired arrows, just having the capabilities to reduce the enemy's brave to 0 could possibly be useful for. It is useful. What am I possibly talking? I'm sorry. I need to give her more love. I've never been a fan of Maria, me personally. I'm not trying to let that kind of like downgrade her kit. She's a good unit. You guys should go for her because of what she gets with that LD debuff. It is beautiful what she can do for your party. Maybe tickets for me. I'm not sure yet. She does come back later down the line, so maybe I'll wait for then. We'll have to wait and see. Shadow gets a rework. What was it? Interceptor. Ignores defense. He gets this stackable mechanic thing. I think when he's like at 2 stacks or higher, you can use his skills for free, right? So use his skill. Uses skill. He gets to act again. Uses additional ability before the stacks drop below 2. So he can increase his evasion even higher, right? So he can counter. And then that's what he does. He's not a bad unit. I wouldn't say not a necessary pickup, but still fun to have, still useful. What do I want? Where do I want Jack? We'll see if I decide to pull for Maria or not. Because if I don't, then I think I'm just going to go for Jack here. Depending if we get confirmation about free multi-draws for the rest of his banners. We'll see. We'll see. Because, again, Shadow's cool. I have him on the JP side of the game. Sorry, I'm looking up the next character. Again, I can't remember all the finer details on these characters. So, Lena, oh, she's useful. She does come back later down the line. Massive Brave healer. Wonderful auras for your team composition. Great support type character. Debuff evasion, which is beautiful. Do I want to hear her later? We'll see where they move this banner. Because I think I might wait for her for later down the line. I think that's what I'm going to do. Caius, alright, our next set of burst plusable characters. I think I'm going to go for Golbez. I don't know. Alright, so Caius, he's going to be making a comeback. He's going to get his burst weapon. I was going to look up his burst effect. Great debuffer already built in. He can initiate a chase sequence. All of these, he's got the Doom. No, I'm sorry. He's got the Chaos thing. He can like break the enemies, which is beautiful. When it comes to his burst effect, he transforms into freaking Megatron. All right. What do we have in terms for the party? Break bonus up 500%. That's not bad. 20% HP damage up. What does he get? Brave damage up by 50%. So not bad. Not bad. 50%. I mean, Jack gives 100%, but again, not bad. After own turn, enemy has these debuffs. This will break the target. Re-breaks if already broken. So constant rebreaker. So he gets like the whole RNA thing built into his burst effect. All right. So just from reading that, he seems useful. Okay. Not bad. So if you're a fan of Caius and him transforming into Megatron, then by all freaking means. Would I want to grab him? Possibly yes, because of Selfie. Selfie has this whole thing where she can inflict some kind of debuff on the enemies and you can literally just launch them. Launch the living shit out of them. She's very useful. Selfie is very, very useful. So probably tickets on this banner. Do I want to chase him? If I were to chase him, it would be on the Ida banner. That's where I would go for him. Golbez, rework, more damage output, burst effect, useful. Let me see if he had auras. So the main thing I remember from Swolbez is that he has the capabilities to stop the enemies from getting brave, right? That's what his burst effect does. Now, imagine that on a burst ability. You could, if timed properly, you can literally shut down the enemies if you don't have units, other units that can do that. I don't know, like what, Yuffie has the capabilities to do that. You have Setzer, obviously, who has his freaking freeze. Cypher, no swiping. Arciala debuff that stops the enemies from gaining brave. They all do it in a certain way, but Golbez has that with his burst effect, right? So he could possibly shut down enemies. Does he have? He does have auras built into his kit. 50%. That's respectable. Brave damage up. No HP damage up, but that's fine. All enemies can't gain brave, right? So brave damage cap increases attack up by 80%. So not a bad character. Okay, so if I were to go for Golbez, maybe that would be my Burst Plus 3 out of 3 character. It depends on how things go with Caius. Okay, I already have Barrett. I don't know if I'm going to go for Kane here. It sucks because I was planning for this banner, but I did go for Barrett after all. So there goes my pull plans. Kane, he's Dragoon, jumps up into the air, stays there, and then he'll just do off-turn damage. That's what Kane does. Useful ranged attacker. All right, that's what he does. I know Freya does something similar later down the line, but Freya's more of a support. But I'm getting into the Crystal level 90. Let's back up here, Lidz. All right, so Kane, useful ranged attacker if you want him for that capabilities, because when he's up in the air, he can't be targeted, right? So he can't be attacked. So possibly cheese some content with that. Ida, my girl Ida. I've always loved Ida in this game. She was great. Back in the day when I started the game, she was my primary attacker with my 15 CP weapon. I remember that. She was great. So I think I may go for her LD here. She gets HP damage over time debuff, which is nice. I believe at this time it will be our second. Our first one is X Death. Our first one is X Death. Now it's going to be Ida. So if you need the HP damage over time kind of thing, debuff built in, she has that. She can meet that requirement. There are 3 that pop into my head at this moment. Let me know if I'm wrong. That require that. It was, of course, X Death's. It was hers. And then it was Alpha Nose later down the line. I can't remember if others required HP damage over time debuff. So very useful character. Massive amounts of damage with her LD. You press it. It's very fast. A lot of AoE damage, right? I would probably compare it to the equivalent of like a Tifa when it comes to the LD usage. She can turn steel when she breaks something with her upgraded HP tag. I remember actually JP players talking about a cheese with Sephiroth and Ida. Sephiroth lowers enemies brave, just constantly breaking with Ida to cheese some content that way. All right, friends. So if I were to use gems, it would be on this banner for Ida. If I pick up Kaisa's burst weapon, maybe I'll go back and use tickets here. I don't have Golbez's burst though, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens on what I get. Because if I get Caius, maybe I'll try out the whole Caius burst plus 3 out of 3 yet. I'm not sure. I don't have to. Because if we look down here, we get the Start Dash Camp rerun where Lightning gets her burst plus. Useful character. Lightning still does what Lightning does. We got party auras, damage, but I don't know if I want to go for Lightning at this point. I'm not sure yet, friends. But I want Golbez's burst weapon. I want to burst plus 3 out of 3 Golbez. But we'll see what RNG decides to give us. All right, friends. So that is it for that month. And we are finally at the last month before the Crystal level 90 era. Oh, okay, let's see. Jaeger Bomb. Gosh damn it. Hold on. Jaeger. What do you do? I don't remember what he does. It sucks that... so being a character introduced, I would say from a game, what was it? Crystal Chronicles, where he's from. He's not a familiar character, okay? And due to planning, I would say that a lot of players are probably going to skip him for this dude right here. Okay, but that doesn't mean you should overlook him. I know he has the capabilities to hit that maximum brave damage up, right? That rainbow damage that we've been seeing with Core. That rainbow damage that we've been seeing with... How do I spell his name? Yagran? Jaeger? Did I spell his name wrong? I don't even know how to spell his name. Oh, shit. Gosh damn it. Where are you? There. It's with a J. It's with a J. Jagran. I'm sorry. See what happens when I start calling him Jaeger. Isn't Jaeger with like a J? Lidz does not support drinking of any form or shape. Follow your country's laws. All right. Okay. So let's see what he does with his LD quickly here. Crystallization, he gets with his base kit, triggers Crystal Fist at the start at 3 stacks. So he kind of has this whole off-turn damage thing going on. Where's Crystal Fist? Again, I apologize. There it is, Crystal Fist. Defense ignoring. No maximum brave damage. He probably gets that with a different part of his kit. Let's look at his LD buff here. Power of New. Blah, blah, blah. Prevents brave from dropping under 10%. Okay. So just off-turn damage. More damage. That's fine. I know he had where's that maximum brave damage? I gotta find it now. Was it with his was it with his EX buff? That's not his EX. Where am I going? I'm all over the damn place. Wait, that's not his. Here's his LD. There we go. Gosh damn it. To deal. Here it is. All right, it's with this LD, okay? When using Crystal Fist, 80% chance to deal brave cap damage up, okay? There it is. I was looking all over the damn place. Again, I'm not too familiar with him. I wasn't interested with him during the time, but I know with the proper team comp, he can stomp. Although I do remember this, though. I feel like he is a character that you need his burst weapon, right? Burst plus 3 out of 3 in order for him to get the most out of him. Because when target is at 3 stacks, 100% chance to deal brave damage cap increase, okay? So the chances are increased. So just having the capabilities to have this as a burst ability and then having that burst effect for him as an attacker, because that's what he is. He's an attacker, is going to prove very beneficial for him. Does he have party-wide? He does have brave damage up. No, cap increase. That's a dirty lie. You gonna have auras for the party? No? Just yourself? All right, so he is a selfish attacker, which is fine. Again, he's attacker. He's doing it well. He can hit that maximum brave damage. So not bad, but I would say at this point it gets a little bit tougher because we have Crystal level 90 ahead, right? So will he be useful with the proper team comps? Yes, of course, obviously. Yes, he will. He will, hands down. Do you want to chase it? Me personally, I don't think I'm going to go for him. We'll see if we get free multi-draws or not. If I get him, would I use him? Yeah, he'll be fun. He'll be fun to use. So if I were to chase for him, this is tough because I know Fran gets useful. Saz is useful. Saz does come back later down the line. Fran gets some beautiful debuffs. Very useful debuffs. So, oh, if I had to pick one, oh man, that's tough. I love Saz. He's great. Maybe Saz for me. All right, so if I had to chase here, tickets here, possibly gems here for Saz. Saz does come back later down the line, so we'll see. Kuja gets better. Kuja gets to rework LD burst effect. He does the whole party-wide holy enchant, right? It's built in with his burst effect. So having that as a burst ability, if you need to do holy damage, if you didn't pick up Garnet, here's another way to do so. Does he get brave damage up? He does get brave damage up by 50% towards your entire party. So not bad. Okay? Wait. Brave damage up by 100%. I was about to say, I thought it was more. So brave damage up by 100% while enchanting them. So not bad as a burst effect character. He's all right. He's okay in that form or in that terms. Do I want? Would I chase after Kuja? Possibly. Maybe tickets. I don't have his burst still. I do have 8. Kuja has yet to repeat. So I don't know, friends. I don't know. Very, very useful burst effect, because I know Shantoto gets the same thing, the same concept where she can. I know I'm skipping ahead here, friends, but this is in the form of your elemental enchanters now, because she does get that with her burst effect, right? Shantoto does the whole Shantoto thing. She hits harder. She can paralyze. She's an attacker, a magic attacker, elemental resistance down queen. She has that. Here we go. Dark enchant. So from, if I remember correctly, she's our second dark brave damage, dark enchanter towards the party. The first one being Zande T-Pose. The second one being Shantoto, if I remember correctly. So 2 off the top of my head. I mean, elemental weakness damage up, which is also nice. All right, friends. So when it comes to your elemental damagers, you got either or. I have Shantoto. Maybe I will, or maybe I won't. But all right, let's go back, Lidz. Let's go back. So Jaeger Bomb. I don't know, friends. he's unfamiliar to me, so not really that much of a fan. His kit is nice with the proper team comp, so we'll see what happens at this point. Maybe tickets. We'll see what RNG decides to give for Lidz. All right, we have Balthier. I have Balthier already. We have Yuffie, so we're not gonna chase there. Saz. So he has this interesting mechanic, okay, where he will increase. If I remember correctly, let's look it up, because he can increase your party's Brave gain when they gain Brave. I know it was confusing when it came out. Okay, so hold on. Let me. When breaking or attacking broken target, overflow. Wait, what? Where is it? That's his LD, right? Aggression. Give me a second. Party, I'm not missing it, right? Here it is. Okay. It's worded differently. I'm sorry. I thought this was stolen Brave Overflow. It's worded differently, okay? So when attacking or attacking broke, so it's stolen Brave damage up by 10%. Okay? So pretty much stolen Brave damage in this game. Stolen Brave damage up in this game is when you attack an enemy. So if you're doing that, stolen Brave damage up by 10%. So more Brave damage up when they're stealing Brave. All right, so that's where it is. Okay, I know when it first came out, I was confused. I'm like, wait, so are they gaining Brave? I don't know what's going on. So that's what he does. Not a bad unit whatsoever. He's always been a great aggressive type support on your team composition. Right, the Chocobo is freaking adorable. So for that reason alone, I think I'm gonna go for Saz. What's your name? Palom. I don't have Palom yet. So not a bad banner for me to chase on for Fran. She's always been useful in terms of a debuffer. Range resist down. 2 range resist down units to this date. And that's going to be Irvine and Fran. Although I know Fran becomes more useful with her. Let me see. Inflicts 3 stacks of Varus punishment. She gets more with her LD. Alright. Speed down. Brave damage resist down. 7 stacks, 6 stacks, 10 stacks. Brave damage resist down to 40% HP. Damage resist. Adds Brave gains down. So all of this in one debuff. So you stack a bunch of debuffs on this enemy. Like if you got defense down debuffs, right? Like Jack, pair this up. So she will go nicely with other forms of debuffs on your team composition. And I do believe it is carried over to her call action. There it is. So very useful call action. Very useful unit in terms of lowering the enemy's resistances. Lowering their stats. Alright. So if you're going after Jaeger Bomb, pick up his LD here. Get his burst probably on the Fran banner or Saz banner. Alright. Depending on your team comps. But me personally, Saz. That's what's at for me. Will I be chasing Fran? Maybe with tickets. Alright. That's where I'm at with Fran. I don't have her on JP, but we will see how that goes. Machina. Now, when Machina came out, it's probably safe to say or assume that I thought that he was literally the next power creep. He was the next power creep during this time because he gets a rework with his burst effect. You got to burst plus 3 out of 3 him, okay? Did I say who I'm going to burst plus 3 out of 3 here? Probably neither. I might save my resources, okay? Oops. During this time, I don't think I'm going to burst plus either of those units. We'll see what happens. But Machina, he is a character that you have to burst plus 3 out of 3, okay? Oh, that's getting cold. Got to heat that up. Because while his burst effect is active, his HP attack will upgrade. Massive amounts of damage. If I remember correctly, with the proper team compositions, with his upgraded HP attack, while his burst effect is active, he can get up to like 1 million damage. Okay? Every time it's his turn. So, burst ability has his burst effect. When I would say, when there's like 6 turns left, go into his burst mode, right? Because the finished burst doesn't count. Go into his burst mode. Constant barrage of damage. Constant barrage of damage against your enemies. So, if you're looking for an attacker, he might do. But the problem is Crystal level 90 is right here. crystal level 90s right here. And I'm telling you guys, like, there's a huge power spike when it comes to crystal level 90s. Like, our goal for Lufenia Plus is to make it to crystal level 90. That's the goal. But, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, get yourself a good set of crystal level 90 units. Content might get boring again. Just throwing that out there. So, but, I mean, he's still a great attacker with the proper team composition. He can really dish out the damage. I did briefly mention Shantota earlier. I do have her burst. I don't know if I will burst plus 3 out of 3 her. I will go for pain, though. I do want to go for pain here. Let me see the rest of this banner. Let me see. Snow, rework, LD, does off-turn turn damage before his turn. He gets a burst weapon later down the line, so if you want to go for him, then that's fine. Great, fine tank. Not a bad tank. We have Zac. We have Galoof, evade tank. So I would say if you have Galoof, you don't need Snow yet. He does come back later down the line, again with this burst. So I'm going to skip on this banner. I'm just looking ahead for Machina. Ursula, she kind of looks doped out there. So, Disney eyes. But do I want massive amounts of Brave gain? If I remember correctly, I'll look her up right now. But I will be chasing on this banner here for Pain. So if I pick up Machina's LD, if I pick up his burst here while chasing after Pain, I'm not going to pull for the rest of the month. For this month, we're done. We're not going to go for Ursula because Pain, she gets this interesting mechanic where I kind of wanted them to do something like this earlier. They kind of do this in other games where if they're in a lead role, the parties get benefit, okay? That's not the case in the terms of if she's in the lead role, right? With her, it depends on which slot she is in. There is going to be either benefits towards your party. There's going to be benefits in form of lowering the enemy stats, or a combination of the best of both worlds, okay? Where was it? Does it say here which slot? I am gonna have to look that up. Well, I think if she was in the left slot, she increases your party's damage. If she is in the right slot, it's debuff towards your enemies, like just increasing their brave damage. If she is in the middle slot, best of both worlds. Hold on. Cleanses, dispels all buffs from enemies. Where is it? Is it with Dress Sphere? Is it with Status Break? It doesn't say. It doesn't. Where is it? Is this it? Full throttle? Okay. It's with full throttle. There it is. I was looking for it. I'm like, where's the special effect? Is that, hold on, did she get it before that? I thought it was with her LD. Maybe I'm crazy. Am I cray? All right. So it's with full throttle. She has this at the start. She's ready to go. That's where it is. That's where it is, okay? So battle start, okay? She gets full throttle. What the call? Oh, it's from Break Attack? That's where it's at? Fascinating. Okay. It's missing there, but it's down here. Okay, so full throttle. There it is. Okay, so let me see. Based on party placement. Does it say where she's at? It's just saying based on party placement. Does it say which slot though? It does not. All right, so correct me if I'm wrong down below. But here it is. Brave damage up to 60% at 10 stacks. Brave gains up to 40%. If she's in the right slot, again, correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments. The other slots, all enemies brave damage down by 50%. Their brave gain down by 50%. Their HP damage down by 50%. And when she is in the middle, brave stacks to the right and debuff slots to the left. Oh, buff slots on the right, debuff slots on the left. So it's the opposite of what I said. Increases, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm probably reading too fast. But the point is she is a useful debuffing type unit depending on the slot. And I love what they did because this opens up the options now for them to play with the roles. I'm curious if and when we say Riku, they just delayed her again by 3 months because I said her name, right? Joshua's always listening. But I'm curious if they would introduce that mechanic. If we ever get Riku into the game, I'm curious if once we get other characters with their reworks, if they can do that. Because I would love for them to introduce that to more characters in Opera Omnia. Just to give us the option, right? If we're lacking in one thing, put Pain in the right slot to increase your party's damage output, right? If we're lacking debuffers, put her in the left slot. If you have a little bit of both worlds, stick her in the middle, okay? So I'm really hoping that they further this trend just to let us play around more with the slot roles for these characters. All right, friends. So I personally will be gemming on this banner for Pain, and if I pick up Machina in the process, hey, that's an absolute bonus. Will I burst plus 3 out of 3 Machina? I'm not sure yet because of what we have over here, right? You see Locke's elbow, so we'll see what happens. Again, I just talked about Snow. Ursula, let me see if I could just quickly look her up here for you guys. Ursula, from what I remember, I never picked her up. Okay? I never picked her up. All I just know is she has massive amounts of Brave gain towards your party members, which is useful. Weakness damage from attackers inflicted, that's fine. Right, just quick overlook. What are we looking at? Tatetsu, defense down, which is fine. She gets Secrets of the Fist. She got party auras built into her kit with her LD, blah, 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 blah. Spirit Break or Pride inherited from father. Party gained max overflow 20%. Party HP damage up. Party Brave will not fall below 20%. Next turn after enemies. Turn is in party's exclusive. Move self before next party member, so she has turn manipulation built into her kit. So useful unit. I remember seeing her ran in a lot of team compositions, so me personally, again, depending on how this looks goes, I probably won't be going after her. All right, friends, so in burst plusing 3 out of 3 Machina, it depends. Again, it depends on the resources at that time. All right, friends, so that is pretty much it for my poll plans. Hopefully that influenced some of your decisions. Hopefully it deterred you. Hopefully it encouraged you for some of these characters. So a mandatory burst plus 3 out of 3 for the entirety before the Crystal Level 90 era. As you guys heard me, Istola, we're looking at Ace, and then from there, probably most likely Jacked because of what we saw, what he can do. And then after that, it will depend on the resources. It will depend if they release those bundles, those Ultima ingot bundles and nuggets. I personally will probably pick those up, right? Because just it'll let me play more with a lot of these team compositions. And then after that, it will seriously depend on RNG. All right, guys, so you guys heard me say before the Crystal Level 90 era, a unit you should absolutely pity would probably... No, I gotta stop saying probably. A unit that you guys should look into pitting should be Orin. All right, friends, so aside from that, that is it for this video, friends. I want to thank you for this long ass freaking almost an hour. Yeah, we're like at 58 minutes here. An hour of talking about my own personal pull plans for the start of the Lufenia Plus, the Burst Plus era, before the Crystal Level 90 era, along with which units I plan to Burst Plus 3 out of 3, and possibly which units I would love to chase after. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments your own personal plans, who you guys are excited for, who you guys gonna chase, right? Do you guys disagree how I felt about some of these characters? Let me know in a kind demeanor down below, because we can talk about this, right? We're civilized, good Opera Omnia players, so let me know your disputes down below and your own personal plans. All right, friends, so until next time, good luck and have a great one.